An island? Who?
Cherry pit and sprig of mint. Fang and feather, tuft of wool, dusky wing and Is that who I think it is?
Pardon?
Oh, well, isn't this marvelous? How you've grown, little miss. Do you remember Circe, the enchantress, still? Huh? Oh, no matter. Not the circumstances for small talk. Show me your palms.
Of course I remember you, Madame Circe. So this is your famous island. Such a relief to be here rather than another drowned ship. I take it we're not meeting by chance?
Wise to our ways as ever. Our Lady Hecate and I decided I had best relocate for a while and survey events as near the mountain of the gods as possible. Then tonight within my crystals, I saw you. Now, how may we make you better?
Did it work? Madame Circe, I'm grateful that we had a chance to meet again after all this time. Your kindness to me always meant a lot, and I wanted to give you this small token in return.
Nectar! Oh, thank you, little miss. I've made attempts to brew my own, but never get it right. So why don't you take this in kind? Think of it as a little island souvenir.
It's beautiful and quite adorable. Thank you.
I found Circe the Enchantress on my route toward Olympus. Or likely, she found me. She hasn't changed a bit from what I recall. You have her keeping watch over the seas?
That I do. Selene takes to water like a cat, while Circe hails from the sea. Thus has it been a good arrangement for a while. I trust Circe's work retains its potency.
She's been great.
Hens, sugar beets, and egg of hens. Come, don't be shy. Welcome, Poppet. Though, forgive me that I have not invited you inside my little hut. Such hospitality I don't extend to anyone. And I make no exceptions, not even for you.
Madame Circe, that is perfectly all right. And there's no need to explain. We all live in seclusion in our own way. What other way is there? With privacy comes peace of mind.
I'm grateful that you understand. Of late, I share my simple home with beasts, but that is all. This Isle of Aia is not mine, of course. Rather, it's my dear companion, and can be yours. So please, help yourself to anything you need whilst here.
I know this place.
Heap of soil, chip of stone, harpy, there you are. Our Lady Hecate would sometimes tell me of your progress, and let on that you are tuned to the altar of ashes at long last. How marvelous, for the Arcana have so much to offer us.
I couldn't agree more. Through grasping the Arcana, I've discovered strength I never realized I had. To think I used to use our altar merely to collect my thoughts.
Collecting one's thoughts is valuable enough. Mine own, at least, are prone to scattering. As for your innate strength and magical acuity, perchance we shall discover even more. Be safe.
I'm Titan-sized. May moonlight guide us.
Selene never fails. Lemon juice and sand of lake. Apple pieces, olives, it's you! Something felt different just as you arrived. It's moly, isn't it? And quite a lot, as I perceive. You need no such protection in this place. A miracle it does not interfere with your own craft.
I have been gathering what moly I can find in Erebus. It has its uses, to be sure, though in my purse it doesn't bother me and remains fresh. You have an aversion to it, and here I thought that every plant and herb had earned your love.
Some earn my caution sooner than my love. Moly has a stifling effect I care for not at all. So much so that I have learned to negate it. As you have no need of its powers here, it shall do neither of us any harm. Though do be careful, little miss.
Circe's Island.
Stones from rivers, moss from ponds. Silk of spider, tooth of shark, ray of light, and mote of dark. Bubble tea leaves, ocean breeze, briar thorns and wax of bees. Bask in moonlight, all of you, till you be this witch's brew. Piggies, look who's back. Fie on that never-ending fleet of ghastly sailing ships, all headed for the mountain of the gods. My little isle sometimes gets right in the way. No hospitality awaits their boorish crews, whilst I replenish my supply of firewood.
You must long for the days when your island was more secluded and had much less unwanted company. I hope I'm not disturbing your peace, madam.
Oh, heavens, no! In actuality, it could be rather all too quiet with only the rustle of the vegetation and the snuffle of my piggies and the like. I more than welcome your returns. Go now with grace.
What have I done?
Behold that ancient isle on which a great enchantress plies her trade. Amid such flora and fauna as have come to welcome her as one of their own.
It feels so safe and peaceful here.
The Isle of Aia.
Morning dew and fingernail. Cap of mushroom, skin of snake.
Some iron.
Lemon juice and sand of lake. Cotton plant and shard of flint. Cherry pit and sprig of mint. Hoof of pig and fur of hound. Brew a potion safe and sound. How very fortunate. Good heavens, more for me? I'm unaccustomed to receiving gifts here on my little isle, though I'm pleased to try and get more used to it, if you must so insist.
Insist is a strong word, madam, but I would like for you to have this, yes. Perhaps it will help you perfect your own recipe, or while away a pleasant night, should one arise.
I have seen neither hide nor hair of that Medea as of late. Her charge was far less pleasant than my own, having to watch over that ghastly town. I worry she's developing bad habits practicing in such a place.
I've seen Lady Medea recently. She seems rather comfortable in Ephira, in spite of what's happened there. Though she always had such a singular interest in curses and the necromantic arts.
Since she was old enough to think for herself, yes, to fend for herself, I should say. She may be my niece, yet she was always far more interested in our blood's other properties. At least she hasn't put a curse on me, as far as I can tell. All of this seawater must feel very disconcerting, little miss. For me, though, it feels rather much like home. Even the depths of Oceanus bring a sense of comfort more than fear.
I'm getting used to it. My path into the underworld requires me to skirt the edge of Oceanus. The water's beautiful, though I could do without the sea monsters, particularly Scylla and her siren friends. Perhaps you know of them?
Oh, yes, I do indeed. I grew up underneath the sea, and Scylla I remember from my youth. Always yelping about this or that, as deafening. Perchance why I prefer the silence now.
We have a bit of a personnel problem with our Circe the Enchantress. Her isle is poised to survey our enemy's fleet, reports of which ought go directly to Odysseus, except they go to me.
A gap in communication. By your leave, headmistress, I can notify her of the proper protocol when next we meet.
You shall not speak of this to her at all. I raise the point so you can be aware. Circe has long been a valuable asset, an ally. Your visits to her isle may help keep it that way.
Sugar beets and egg of hens. Bubble tea leaves, ocean breeze. Oh, hello! Aha! I knew you would arrive just now, Poppet. No innate gift of foresight required, merely intuition and my crystals hereabouts. Have you incorporated any into your routine?
Well, I've learned to see into our pitch black stone. I used to think that it was there to help make us unseen, but it has other potent uses too. Crystals, so full of potential.
Mother Gaia's multicolored bounty. Oh. I sometimes envy that you live beneath the earth where crystals and gemstones grow in abundance. Each has its special properties suggested by a single touch. Oh, how brilliant they all are. Our Lady protect you.
Am I... Oh.
Scale, morning dew and fingernail. Silk of spider, tooth of shark.
Come on up.
Ray of light and moat. I knew you would arrive. How lately is the temperament of Our Lady Hecate? Long has it been since last I basked in her wisdom, for I have wisdom of my own, she says. You must have needed her attention more than I.
Madam Circe, I did not mean to deny you her attention. Although Headmistress has been preoccupied not just with my training, but with leading the unseen, warding the crossroads against any harm, readying our plans to take back what's ours. She's counting on us. On you.
I know. And I apologize that I insinuated any feelings of resentment on my part. For none exist towards you, let alone her. You have my word, Poppet. It's just... she was like a mother to me. Oh, how she hated when I told her so. Stones from rivers, moss from ponds. Apple pieces, olives, figs,
Hail,
ginger
piggies.
roots and cypress twigs. Gust of wind and spray of sea, clump of soil, branch of tree. Moly petals, I've a lot. Boil, simmer in my pot. Oh, you're back.
Madam Circe. Salutations, madam.
And hail to you. You've one of great Selene's precious blessings on this eve. That I can tell, Poppet. Even from afar, the moon has always kept me company. Her light can be so utterly transformative.
And may Selene's light ever shine for us, madam. I'd likely not have found my way to you if not for her. As for her magic, sometimes I wonder if it isn't transforming me so much as revealing who I really am.
That may well be so. Who is to say where our true nature lies? A spell of transformation is a spell of revelation. When we change, we become more like ourselves, not less. Bark, little miss!
Hail, madam.
What has the world come to, little miss? Oh, living on my little isle, I must have been the last to learn calamity had spread all from the heavens to beneath the earth.
And Kronos is responsible for all of it. Time apparently wishes to ruin everything eventually, but we are not about to let him have his way. We'll drive his forces from Olympus and unseat him from my father's throne.
Oh, we immortals and our warring ways! What example do we set for mortal kind? But I know certain battles must be fought, and I remain committed to Our Lady Hecate and you. You and I are much alike in that Our Lady Hecate discovered us when most we needed someone such as her, Poppet. Perchance, her similar affinity for beasts made her take some pity on me then. A witch amongst the polecats and the pigs.
Take pity on you how? That doesn't sound like the headmistress I know. She has always thought highly of you, and depends on you to be our eyes here at this key juncture.
I owe her this and more. When I was a young outcast, Practicing an art oft thought to be profane, it was Our Lady who discovered me and showed me that my path led not to ruin, but to harmony. It veritably is a long and winding path, but one I shall not stray from any more. I wonder, does Our Lady Hecate as yet consort with that tactician shade of hers? Swarthy in his mortal days, not of surpassing stature, prone to talk. Oh, what was his name again?
You mean Odysseus? He remains indispensable to our cause. What knowledge I possess of this route and the dangers along it are thanks largely to him. Why do you ask?
Oh, no reason at all. It's merely that he was a flighty sort, as I recall, quite prone to wandering about. So his continued service is a bit of a surprise. A pleasant one, mind you.
Did you used to know him? I don't recall you interacting at the crossroads. Not that I was paying much heed to anything besides my studies then. I was so little lost you visited.
Once I relocated this isle, the journey to the crossroads became much more arduous. As for Odysseus, yes, him and I have met before. Him and his pig-headed crew. A different age, Poppet. Perchance he's learned a bit since then.
What happened between you and Circe, Odd? She mentioned you, said nothing in particular except... I sensed a pain there, and I sense it here and now.
That's not a pain entirely, goddess. When I was whole, returning from a war, I found Circe and her isle, and I lived there for about a year. She housed me and my men, and we grew close. I learned a lot from her, and then we left.
Your voyage home. You stopped for an entire year, then voyaged on and never saw her again.
Well, until I saw her again here. It's in the past. And for the both of us, I think. Not every such relationship need last eternally.
I understand, I think.
Look, I foresaw within the facets of my crystals that you were headed here again. Or through here, I should say. Is there a salve, potion, or poultice that might ease your passage?
Most certainly, and thank you, Madame Circe. I don't suppose you have anything that renders me invulnerable, or lets me find vast quantities of rare reagents on my way?
Heavens no, Poppet. The greater the effect, the greater the unintended consequence. That much we know is true. There is a balance to creating miracles. Shall one of these suffice? I oft forget we share some kinship, do we not? My father is the shining sun itself, the Titan, Helios, distant accomplice to the gods, not close with anyone. But he is brother to the Lady Demeter, my aunt, who is your grandmother, correct?
Oh, Madame Circe, right you are. That makes us cousins once removed, I think. I don't know how any of us can keep all this genealogy straight. In any case, the bond matters more than the blood, does it not?
Quite veritably so. Though you'll forgive me that I've shied from all of it. Amongst family, I was expected to act differently with each and every one. I scarcely understood how to be me. Things are much simpler on this isle here. How you were always at your studies, little miss. That you are here suggests how much you have achieved. I always wanted you to visit me. You used to say it was impossible.
It turns out even prophecies of the three fates are circumventable. Though I still have much to learn. Also, I keep reminding myself night after night. How about you? You must have perfect mastery over our craft by now.
Now it's my turn to say something is impossible. I've been practicing enchantment for 3/4 of my life, and have yet to ever change the essence of a thing. Only the form. But the pursuit, I find, is fascinating without end.
How absurd. The very idea of family, sorcerers. That we've some innate bond with those who share some of our blood. You've met my Aunt Circe. Do you believe that we're at all alike?
Madame Circe seems very devoted to our craft in her own right. Just not in the same way as you, Lady Medea. Are you so loath to think that you may have something in common?
Circe was never willing to push our practice to the depths of what it can achieve. She would turn mortals into livestock. I would turn them dead. A differing approach is all, perhaps.
Do remember that we cannot change who we are, Poppet. Only what? Now then, your palms. My, but you are turning into such an enchanting young goddess night upon night. To live is but to undergo a constant series of small transformations, little miss. My existence here is quite a peaceful one. I highly recommend it once your warring is complete. Oh, how fortuitous that we have met again on an enchanting evening such as this.